Hey friends, Reverend Anna Bundy Hagler here, and I am just loving this worship series. Being the book of James has not only taught me about the book of James, but so much about what community means to us and how we continue to live into faith and build up our community. I also, biasly, am really loving this study guide. And so I thought it would be a good time for us to sit with Pastor Anthony, one of our new associate ministers, the Senior Associate Minister of Mission and Vision, and kind of get his take on these reflection questions. So Pastor Anthony, are you ready?
Okay.
All right. The first one that Pastor Mitchell had for us was, when was a time your faith impacted the way you acted in the world?
You know, I was thinking about a story that I shared with our SPRC, our HR committee, when I first came in. And I guess they asked me a similar question. And I talked about my first experience with communion. I grew up in a very conservative church. And their communion was only for members, only if you had kind of completed their process. And so as a young person, I was still really exploring my relationship with Christ. And so in church every Sunday, we would pass communion down the pews. They were trays of cups and trays of small crackers. And I don't think I could have articulated this at the time, but every single Sunday, I saw grace pass me by. And the first time I came into a United Methodist church, I was sitting with my parents, I was a teenager, and the usher invited me to come forward, and I looked and I said to my mom, I can't take it, I'm not a member here.
Oh, in the United Methodist Church?
Yes.
Oh.
And my mom said, you can receive communion here. And I looked at the usher, and the usher nodded and welcomed me forward, and I will say, walking forward, and I still feel it. I cried the whole way through, and I'm at the kneeler, and I was just bawling about what it meant for me to finally receive grace. And for me, I think what's impacted me so strongly throughout my years is the importance of being able to welcome others to the table, to welcome others into communion, and that church be a place where everyone is accepted and welcomed, no matter who they are.
No matter who they are. And that's what I love so much about this worship series paired in this church is I can't wait until August 6th when we celebrate communion. And there's going to be people who have been in our sanctuary for the first time, either online or with us, or it'll be their first few weeks, and they'll be able to receive communion tying up this series. That's so precious.
A great expression of our faith and our ability to connect with the community and welcome others and how we live that out.
What a gift. What a gift. Thank you. So then the second question is, can doing good works in the world lead to faith?
You know, I even wonder if that's the only way that our faith really develops. And I think about John Wesley had this experience early to mid 1700s where he had this crisis of faith, and he started thinking to himself, I don't think I can preach anymore because I don't have faith. And he ran into Peter Bowler, and he said, he reflected on that, and Peter's like, no, you have to. And he's like, what do you mean? And he said, you need to preach faith until you have it. And then because you have it, you can preach faith. And, you know, I think there's a sense that we believe what we live into. And so there's something about being able to live out our faith and practice it. And the more we live it out, the more it gets confirmed of who we are, who God has called us to be, and our relationship to the whole world.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, that John Wesley, big fan.
Yes,
big
absolutely.
Fan. Oh my goodness. Was there anything else you'd like to add? This has been great reflection.
It's been a great exploration for the series, and I'm excited to see what Pastor Mitchell has for us next.
I can't wait. I hope that this is helpful to you in reflecting upon these questions throughout your week. And I think that I can speak for both of us when I say our prayer is that you don't just come in and take in this sermon on Sundays, but that you would let it infiltrate your life and your faith, and you would continue to be the light of Christ out into the world. So we can't wait until we see you again on Sunday.